Good morning.
Hey, Karina, good morning.
How's it going?
It's going. Give me just 1 second. I'm gonna flip over my camera here, and then I'll be on camera.
Okay, great. I
Hey,
feel
there we
like
go.
I might be like having some magnetic weirdo thing going on here in the Space Coast because everything's supposed to be connected at the same speed with timing. My watch is a Samsung and it says it's 12:05. My phone says 12:05. My computer says 12:01. My microwave's like 3 more minutes behind that. And I'm like, what time is it?
That's too funny. That's
And
too
so
funny. I know.
like depending on where I'm at in the house, my watch will like go off cycle from it's just wacko. So
Wild.
I'm like, I'm either late or early now to Zooms.
That's too funny. I always try to show up a few minutes early just because I love talking to everyone and seeing how like everyone's doing. And I don't know. That's so much grinding in this work. I love the like having the group to talk with, and it's just that's the best part.
I agree, except unless you don't know what time it is.
Yeah.
Hi, Bobby. Oh, I think you're muted.
Hey, how's it going, everybody?
Good, great to see you.
Good to see you guys as well. Excited for the day.
That's awesome. Yeah, you're just starting, right? We're like halfway through, Cameron and I.
Oh, just starting. Are you kidding me? I've been up since 4:45.
Oh, you have I get up at 4:15
Yeah.
for the gym.
Oh, I've been going
Good.
all morning. Came up with some great ideas for just some other stuff, not just real estate. Yeah, working
I
on
love
other
it.
things too. You
That's
gotta
great.
diversify in these crazy times, right?
That's right.
So
That's good. You look good, Bobby. You look like you're fresh. You woke up. You're ready to rock and roll, man.
well, thank you. Thank you. I shaved this morning, like a clean
Oh,
shave. No electric shaver bull crap. I got a 10:30 listing appointment, which I will sign that one up and just trying to rock and roll. A lot of listings out there. I've been noticing a lot of people starting to call, so I think we're getting close to a peak of the market. We'll see.
I agree because the lenders are all saying where we're at that they've been so busy in the last week. Like it's just been
Mhm.
popping even on that side.
Yeah, no, it's getting there. Unfortunately, rates went up a quarter point yesterday, but that's okay. We'll rebound. So,
And what's a quarter point amongst friends?
just a quarter point, no big deal.
what's going on, Ross? What's up, Brian? Hey, Dave,
Hey guys.
Tracy.
Hey.
What's up, guys?
Howdy, howdy. And ladies. Ladies,
Hello.
hello.
And
I'm
Hey,
happy
ladies,
Stacy's here with
absolutely.
us.
Darcy's on. Corinne's on. Yay.
Thanks, Steve.
That means I'm gonna learn something.
Well, I always learn something from all you guys, so it's awesome.
I know.
I think
So, if you guys
write a
do, you guys want to get
novel.
going, or we?
Okay.
Sorry about that, Karina. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I think even the panelists, we could all write novels on what we've learned from each other, which is like the best part of this panel is that everybody brings something to the table that we're not doing or didn't think of, or that one good idea to take away. So it's amazing. I love all you guys. And
Yeah, I
Tracy.
love that. I did a top producer panel out here, and everyone that I had on the panel with me was like, "Well, we all run the same business, so like, what is there to learn? We don't need to run through it." And then as the conversation unfolds, they're like, "Oh yeah, we all run completely different businesses because
Yeah.
there's so many avenues to do real estate. It's so great to hear everyone's perspective because you're all super successful and awesome. And yeah, we could all write novels. And I've only been on for a short time, and I got a whole book of stuff. So thank you guys."
Yeah, I used to think I knew something until I met all of you guys.
So, One thing I want to say, it's kind of funny you guys are saying that with the novels, is I was the same way, man. I am a habitual note writer, and all of the good ideas have come up. I actually bought this book, again, being the young kid here, right? The millennial. It's called a Rocket book. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's called a Rocket book. And it's a page between paper and a whiteboard. You use these special little marketers, and they're permanent, so they don't scuff or anything. But when you're tired of it, you scan it with your phone, it uploads it to the Google Doc. So you have all your notes on your Google Doc, and then you just take a cloth and you spray some water on it and you wipe it off, and all of the ink and everything just wipes away. So it's like an infinity notebook. And this thing is the coolest because it allows you to upload it to Google Drive. So I hashtag everything on my page. And then when I scan it, it goes into the Google Drive, and I have all my notes organized by hashtags. How cool is that?
Oh my God, just drop your mic right now. You just, why don't?
Do we need to even have do we need to have a master class today?
That's so
I
cool, you
love
guys.
it.
I'm glad I could share that with you.
Only on this
But,
mastermind,
Yeah.
folks, can you get that type of information. So all those who are visiting, this is one reason to keep coming back every week, because the nuggets just drop. Cam, you're amazing.
I love it, Tracy. I love it. Well, I'm so excited today. I want to get going if you guys want to get started, because we're going to talk about something that I think is just super important, not only for newer agents, but also for experienced agents that have slowed down and they got to get the ball back rolling. They got to get going. So we're going to be talking about a 12-month plan, 0 to 12 months, and what the plan is and what we're giving to our agents to have them succeed. Now, I really wanted to have Dave Lawson. Dave, do you want to start off? I don't know if you had your notes ready to go yet, but you have so much great information for your agents. I'd love to start off with you and just what your plan is for that first 12 months for an agent, whether they're getting going back again or they're brand new.
Well, first of all, you have to have your business plan,
Mhm.
right? Now, I know a lot of you have started your business plan back in December to implement it in January, right? And guess where that business plan goes? Usually goes right in the desk and you're not looking at it. So what I'm doing right now with the team is we are taking a 12-month business plan and we're breaking it down. Guess what this week is? It's the first week of the second quarter.
Mhm.
So then we take the second quarter plan. In my business plan, we break things down week. What am I going to accomplish this week? Because it's, I say real estate happens, right? Things happen in the business today that I didn't expect. And all of a sudden I get thrown off for today. But if I have a business plan for a week, then tomorrow I can make up for it and so on. Then, I think the most critical thing is for you to have a plan for today, right? And if you have a plan for today, I call it, what is my non-negotiable? What is the one thing or possibly two things that I'm going to get done today, absolutely positively, or I'm not going home from work, right? So what I'm doing is I'm making a promise to myself that by the end of the day, I'm going to get this one thing or two things done. And, it's not a to-do list where you have 15 things and you mark off the 8 or 10 of them that are really easy. And then you don't do the one thing that's going to move the ball in your business. Because there's only, I say this all the time, right? And I didn't turn my phone off. I apologize. I say this all the time. There's 100 things to do in real estate. Say yes or yes.
Yes.
Right? There's only 4 things that make us money, and I call it my plan. Prospecting, lead follow-up, appointments with buyers and sellers, and negotiating contracts, right? Ross, with your team, you know this, right? These are the things that when we have a team, if we focus and we get our agents and ourselves to do that each and every day, then we win. I always say we're in the sales business, right? Nothing happens until a sale is made. And if that's the case, what are you doing all day, every day. So what I recommend is taking out your planner, taking out, if nothing else, go old school, print out a thing that says, you know, I got up at 4:45 this morning. I did a workout. Then I prepared and I did a video this morning. I was making some notes from a seminar that I did yesterday called How to Find Hidden Listings. And then I wanted to have a plan to follow up with those people to make sure we're taking care of them, right? And then you just move along. But what you do is you take that list and you say, okay, 8 o'clock I get at the office, and 9 and 10 and 11 and 12 and 1, 2, 3 and 4 and 5. And what you do, if you do this for 3 to 5 days, it will change your world. Because what you're going to do is you're going to say, so Corinna, I love you, you know that, so I'm going to pick on you, right? So if I had you do that, just kind of give me an idea really quickly. What did you do at 8 o'clock yesterday?
Yesterday morning was Wednesday. I was on the phone with a commercial client.
Okay, on a client. Okay,
Mhm.
so let's just say from 8 to 9, that's income producing, right? What'd you do at 9?
I got my first cup of coffee.
Okay, great.
Right outside my door.
Right. Okay. And then, but if you record just a little bit, so I was working on my website, or I was meeting a client, or I was, reading my email, or I was looking at social media, right? So then what you do is you mark down, I put I for income and I put N for nothing. There's no value in that. And then what you do is you review what you've done in the last 8 or 9 or 10 hours, or however long you say you were working yesterday. And then it is painfully obvious that all of us did not do our job. I always say, if you turn that in to, if you were if you were the top salesperson at IBM and you turned that into your sales manager at the end of the day, would you even have a job tomorrow? Right? Because we're in a sales business. That means we have to sell. And the thing is when you understand this concept, it makes a huge difference. And then I say, what you measure 2X's, and what you measure and record and have accountability 3X's. So Corinna, I want you to do this example, and then I want you to share it with all of us on the panel.
Sounds good.
In the next 2 days, right? I want you to do it today, tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I want you to share it with all of us. And then do you think that might change? So when you do 8 o'clock income, 9 o'clock not, 10 o'clock not, and then all of a sudden you're looking at, man, I did 2 hours of work that was income producing, and there was 7 hours of everything else, right? So nothing has helped me in my business when I was getting going. And I mean, if you want to, so I'm going to share with you what my schedule was, and I want you to tell me what was income producing and what was not. Okay. I get up in the morning, I go to the gym, I get into the office by 7:30. I used to prepare my numbers to call people or what I'm going to do. 8 o'clock, I got on the phone and I role played for 25 minutes with my 5 different role play partners, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 8:25, I called my accountability, said, look, I'm going to talk to 30 people in the next 3 hours. Between 8:30 and 11:30, I'm going to talk to 30 people. I'm going to set 2 appointments, and I'm going to add 3 people to my database with my my process of using my listing presentation as a lead generation tool. At 11:30, I'm going to take a break, and I'm going to go get my phone from my assistant and ask her if there's anything that I need to follow up on. And by the way, I told my assistant when I'm doing my prospecting between 8:30 and 11:30, if she brought me a problem, she was the problem. Okay. Guess what else happens? You know what? She handles most of all the issues that I didn't need to handle anyway. Okay, 11:30, then I look at emails, then I get out of the office. I go and I do something I wanted to do, and especially I love this in the winter. I'd go out and I'd take a walk without my coat, so I'd get kind of reinvigorated. And then I get back at 1 or 12:45. 12:45 to 1 o'clock, I would sit basically and think. In EOS, there's something where you have to just let everything go so you can think. 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. And when I used to teach prospecting school, people would pay me a lot of money. I'd show up at prospecting in school and say, hey, everybody, we're here at prospecting school. And I want you to stop it. It's a colossal waste of time. Don't do it. And they're like, whoa, what are you talking about? I said, you can prospect all you want, but all of the fortune is in the what? The follow-up, right? So if I know that from 1 to 2 o'clock every single day, Monday through Friday, I did my lead follow-up. Tuesday, and then from 2 to 6 was just blocked out for appointments. Okay. If I didn't have an appointment, then what I would do is I'd block out an hour here, an hour there, 2 hours here, and then I would work on my business as opposed to in my business. Okay. And then I was making, in my first year, I took 118 listings following this. I sold 55 properties. So I was on a lot of appointments. But guess what I did if I didn't have an appointment? I made more phone calls, right? I did more of the income producing activities. And you say, wow, that's like insanely organized and insanely, scheduled. And I say, that's right. And I say, all we need to do is go back. Who wants to go back to high school? Raise your hand, right? Okay, but where were you at 8 o'clock? You were in math class. Where were you at 9? You were in history, 10, government, whatever. 11 at lunch. You went to lunch. Then you went to, your whatever Spanish class. Then 2 o'clock, and then 3 o'clock you went and you did after school. You did sports, right? Your entire day was completely scheduled out for you, right? If we all go back to high school, we'll make so much money that we won't know what to do with it. We'll have so much business. And then the other thing I'm going to say is there's still 96 things that you have to do, right? So if you're always doing your job and you're always generating business and you're
Did we lose him?
right? If you don't have an assistant, then you are one, right? So take the money and then try to get other people to do what they're really great at. I tell people all the time, I'm really good at this many things and I suck at this many things, right? So let me stay in my lane and focus on what I do. So that's generally what I wanted to talk about. So there you
Great
have
stuff. Dave, that was awesome stuff. And for everyone that doesn't know, I know we have a lot of folks that are new on the call. Dave runs the most prestigious luxury group out of Park City, Utah, up in the mountains there. And just fantastic stuff. One thing that, listen, guys, one thing that he really brought up there and I only touched on briefly, and it really was how he started off every day, was surrounding yourself with people that want to win with you, right? They're going to help you win because they're winning right alongside of you. That's huge, you guys. And you have to surround yourself with your network to keep you accountable. Self-accountability is hard. It's hard for all of us, even us here on this panel. Like that's something that we all work on. And having that team, it's just incredibly important, you guys. That was great stuff, Dave. Tracy, I wanted to jump to you. I've really been enjoying you being on the calls lately. So tell us your plan for agents that are either getting going or they're restarting their business, and give us a few nuggets that can really jumpstart their business this year.
Thank you, Cam. That's very kind of you. So I actually have a couple of my mentees that are following us every Thursday here. So this is a good time to reiterate what I go with them. And I feel like I go above and beyond with them. So the first thing is it's really important, just like he just said, you've got to have a schedule. I know what I do at 5 a.m. I do the same thing until 6 a.m. I know, 7 a.m., 8 a.m. I know exactly what I'm doing. And I also believe that you must do the most top priority item first on your list.
Yep.
Because your day will take a turn. No day usually turns out the way you think it's going to. But if you do everything 1, 2, 3, then you're not going to be disappointed in yourself by the time the end of the day comes and you were supposed to have sent a CMA to a client, because that's, as I said earlier, that's a letter I. That's income producing. So you want to make sure you get those done, get those taken care of. I also reiterate to just jump in and don't be afraid of the day. Okay. Once you got your license, you became a professional real estate professional, and it starts then. And we have plenty of resources, especially this mastermind. I think Cam knows my next one is my 3 F's, FU, FU, and FU. So that's follow up, follow back, follow through. Cam had a lead for me. I'll give you an example. And he told me about it, and I didn't hear from him, I thought we were going to talk. And I go, hey, Cam, just checking in. And he just said, hey, Tracy, still working on it. I'm like, okay. I said, I'm just a triple F person. I'm follow up, follow through, follow back. And so, that's just really important to communicate and to do what you say you're going to do with whomever's referring you a client, whether it's a follow-up of a lead that you've got. It's just really important. And I'm going to also say, I talked about this last week, be intentional. When you are doing lead generation and you are looking at a particular home that you want to go after that's expired 30, 60, 90, 120 days, take 1 minute to make sure it's not back on the market. Okay. And once you do that, pursue with an email, a business card, something that they're going to remember you for. Start off with something that maybe other agents don't say, except for, hi, I'm Tracy, saw your amazing home today. Everyone likes a compliment. Everybody wants to hear something special about themselves, about their home or something. So, and you've got Chat GPT. If you're not sure how to start that off, ask Chat. They'll give you something, and it will, you can create it to sound like yourself. So I guess if I was going to say anything is make sure you have your schedule. If you don't have one, you need one today. And I would count that as an I, because you're not going to produce any income unless you've got a schedule. Remember to follow through, follow back, with the people that you are connecting with. Because how you present yourself is if they're going to actually work with you and then refer for you. So that's the letter I, right? I think that's all I have to say. I really am trying to be super, super intentional about what I'm doing and making sure, I have one more thing. Thick sandwich, thin sandwich. Okay, I've been working nonstop with a $4 million client for the last 2 weeks. They're my thick sandwich. When they need me, I am there. They're a physician, so we have only certain windows to go and look at properties. If there's someone who's 30 days out, 60 days out, 90 days out, those are my thin sandwiches. That means I squeeze them in and I don't give them prime time. Okay, but I give them my attention. So I think that's what I've got to offer today. I hope that helps somebody just kind of figure out how to make your 2024 amazing.
That was good. No, and you're going to hear this a lot, you guys. Scheduling. Get on schedule to get started. If you don't have a schedule, it's like trying to drive your car somewhere if you don't have a map. You don't know how to get there. There's no way you're going to arrive at your destination without getting on a schedule and then being consistent with it. And just to add to that, you guys, if you are scheduling the day in advance, which I highly recommend you do, you have to do that the night before. That way your brain can rest throughout the evening and through the night. You're not constantly trying to work. And if you are doing that, make sure that you're putting in time to, like Tracy was just saying, that you're focused on your clients that need to be right now. And then you're rating your clients, you're rating your prospects, because if they are 90 days out or 120 days out, or they can't qualify right now, but they should in a few months, those are clients that you need to follow up with, right? The FUF, the follow up, follow back, and follow through. Those are people you need to follow up with, but they can't take all of your time, which is very easy to do when you need to start going after those A-type prospects. So great stuff, Tracy. Loved it. Ross, I want to jump down to you, buddy. You have had just incredible nuggets these past few weeks. And I know you have quite a few team members that are, coming through and coming on, and you're mentoring and helping out. Give us some more, let's say a little detail, some smaller things. I know obviously scheduling super important, but give us some stuff that, agents can start doing today and really get going in their first year.
That's great. Thanks, Cam. It's great to see everybody. So taking it back to the base, everyone's covered everything. I love everything that's been said so far. It's kind of, I've been writing down my notes. It's kind of messy because I've agreed with everything that's been kind of run through. You guys are all killing it today. But I think if I'm speaking to someone who's getting started, like say, looking for a team, looking to start on their own, the first thing you have to do, regardless of what your situation is find the real estate activity that you can build on and find what's free. So if you want to build your, I've worked with a guy who said, I want to do open houses. So what did he do? He did 365 open houses in 2023 because that was his business. So he's young, he was hungry, didn't have a family. So he worked. He knew his time was worth nothing, even though it really wasn't. He's a great dude, but he put himself in a position to where he was regimented, just like everybody has been saying. You need a time block to find out your activities and dive in. And the way that you time block, just like Tracy said, just like Dave said, is you want to prioritize what's going to make you money first. You don't need to be out there working on the long game when you're first jumping in. Like, what's going to get you your first check? What's going to build you sustainable income? What is going to be the foundational aspect of your business that will bring those dollars? So once you make those decisions, and I think the main factor that you have to decide on is what's going to be scalable for you. What can you scale on? I feel if you find activities that are free but a little too basic or simple, and you're just going to rely on, say, a mailer, it's hard to scale a business based on a mailer. So you need to find an activity that's going to get you a face-to-face meeting quickly, efficiently. And so you have those afternoons like Dave Lawson where you're scrambling around meeting with 42 different people in a couple-hour period and selling 10 houses a day. So that's the goal. And to be able to do that, not only time blocking, I've found that if you create metrics to track not only your productivity, but to create a source of accountability for yourself, that's going to be the easiest way to stay on track. If you don't have any measurables, what are you measuring yourself up to? What you're seeing on social media? When you see the guy that's making a video, I have 10,000 rental properties and 17 Ferraris, and I'm 12 years old. Like, that's, I mean, are you going to measure up to that today? Like, no. So you need to hold yourself accountable and work on the foundational blocks of your business, because if you let yourself get out there and into the world of what other people are doing, which is 90% fake, we're all going to just struggle and we won't be able to keep our schedule because we're defeated before we even get started. So what are measurables? If you're doing an open house, and what's your goal? Are you can do 100, are you can do 50, or you can do 300 this year? Set a path for how many you're going to do, how many doors you're going to knock. What doors are you going to knock? Who are you going to meet? How are you targeting these people? And then you can really find what's going to make you money. And when you're starting to target places, you know, okay, well, this neighborhood's untapped. I know that this neighborhood doesn't have a lead listing agent in it, so I'm going to go capture that neighborhood. Those are the things you need to find, is how you can measure your productivity and accountability to yourself only. Because if you're trying to be accountable to anybody else, they're either going to be too tight on you or too loose. You need to find what's good for you. And I love the four main things that you need to do in that time blocking and the metrics is a prospecting, follow-up, appointment, and contract. I'm a little backwards on that because with my Zillow Flex program, we're we're getting that appointment first on the phone call. We're meeting them, and then it's follow up. And the metrics that I've set up is in a CRM. It's super easy to navigate. If anybody wants to check out my system, we can definitely do it. Since I've held my team accountable, we went up 30% productivity in closed transactions. So that's something that you have to have a piece on where you can track, because then once you're established, then it's like, cool, I can have another aspect of my CRM that's for scaling, not only in sales, but with agent count, with all the things that EXP has to offer. So work on your business, like Dave said, not in your business every day. You got to get that bird's eye view. I spend my 5 to 6 o'clock right before I go have dinner with my family and kind of try and check out for the night on where am I going? Why did I make this change to EXP? Why am I on this path? And who can I reach? How can I do this better? Those are the things that I like to think on. And that's like my bird's eye view. If you're in the trenches all day, it's exhausting. You got to get up, look backwards, see what you've accomplished today, see what you accomplished this month, look at your metrics, and then look down, see where you're at, get confident in yourself, and then look forward and really develop that path for yourself. Because without that business plan, without that direction, you're just kind of tossed around. If you hit a roadblock in the trenches, you might just stay there. And then once you do that and you've scaled, the next thing to do is leverage EXP and rinse and repeat. Take your business to other markets, go meet people, find talent that you can surround your great business plan around, and then dig in, spread out. And then that's when you really feel the benefits of why we're all doing this in this great ecosphere. So that's pretty much what I got from start to finish. I'm nowhere near the finish line, but I'm trying to get that rinse and repeat section going on here with EXP in my own business. So hopefully somebody could pull some nuggets out of there.
Ross, there are so many nuggets you just dropped, man. Like the things you were saying, even though you were laying them on kind of softly there, huge, you guys. You know, you got to set the foundation for your business. You have to have that foundation laid, and doing it with a free platform like open houses, like door knocking, like, you know, phone prospecting. If that's going to be the cornerstone to your business, you can have just huge amounts of success with it. And you got to have that foundation, and then having the metrics to go after. You guys, let's go right back to the scheduling. It's having that roadmap for your business that's going to allow you to see where you're going to end up in 12 months when you do the work day in and day out. And it's able to keep you on track. That's just super important, man. 30% increase in productivity. 30%? Yeah. Wow. Like 30%. Dude. That's crazy, man.
From 100 million to 172 million.
You guys,
I guess it's better than 30%.
Listen, you guys, that's it. And then when you know your numbers, you're able to do that. I talk to so many great agents. I mean, obviously right now I'm talking with agents all over the country every day, day in and day out. I talk to so many just superstar agents, and it's like, well, what was your numbers last year? And they kind of give you that deer in the headlights look. And if you don't know what you did, how are you going to be able to set a true roadmap to where you want to go? Right. And that's, I think everyone's kind of resounding that same statement, you guys, is you got to have the plan in place. Talking about plans, Brian Yarbor, probably the most talented coach with the most experience on setting up business plans for agents we have on the panel today. Lay it out for us, Brian. I want to hear some of your fire.
All right. You can hear me okay, correct?
Sounds good.
Okay, good. I'm having solar put on my roof right above me, and it could get a little noisy, so apologize for that. I liked piggybacking off of what Ross just did. So I'm trying to share a document. I've shared it before, and it's called the Agent Quick Start Guide. And it's a guide that we created for agents that are joining our team that are pretty much superstars, to show them what they have been doing to become a superstar. And then we also share it with newer agents who just need a business model. And for some reason, my link isn't working, but I promise I'll put it in there. But it's called the Agent Quick Start Guide. And what it basically is, and let me shift around here. Sorry, I was hoping to share it. Maybe I could send it to you, Cameron. But the Agent Quick Start Guide lays out buckets. And so as a newer agent or even a superstar agent, like everybody on this panel, and Dave was talking about it, I've segregated what we do as agents into a quick start guide. It's like when you buy a refrigerator, you get a thick manual, but it also just says, hey, take the plastic off, do this to your, your little ice maker, plug it in, let it sit for a while, and everything's cold and it works. And nobody ever picks up the manual again, right? So that's what the Agent Quick Start Guide is. And it starts with what are the activities that you need to do to be transactional and to be transactional quickly. And what those are is those are your opportunities. Like Ross was saying, you have open houses, that's unpredictable amounts of people. If you're going to have a networking event, it's unpredictable how many people, but you're going to have people there. These are opportunities. But then if you're door knocking, that's predictable because you're going to knock on 100 doors. So that's going to be a predictable activity versus an open house is unpredictable because you might get one person, you might get no people, you might get 100 people. So you start to spread out your time and your business plan, like we were talking about. A quarterly business plan, like Dave Lawson was saying, I like those better than annual ones for my training purposes because rates go up, rates go down, markets changes, things go around really, but nothing ever changes in general other than your activity. And if you're doing transactional activity, then you want to be focused on transactional activity. I put everything in my calendar. If it's not on my calendar, I'm forgetful. I'm at that age right now where if it's not in my calendar, I'm forgetting. So I like previewing property as the most fundamental foundation thing that you can possibly do for any business that you're working on. If you're not out previewing, if you're not out in the marketplace looking at houses, you're not going to be excited. You're not going to have that, this is why I got in the business mentality. Like walking into a 3 or 4, house subdivision or going in a brand new $2 million home or going and previewing houses. If you're not excited to be in houses and looking at things, you're not going to be excited to call your clients. That's just how I operate. So I really like my agents out in the marketplace doing what it is that makes them successful, which is knowing the product. Your MLS is your shopping mall. And if you don't know your inventory, then you need to get out and do the inventory. So step one, be in the business, be transactional. Well, buyer appointments and seller listing appointments, those come later. How many of you just walked right into your very first transaction without having some sort of a opportunity to, unless it was a family member, to have a consultation? You had to set the appointment. You have to learn how to do that. So your scripts, your dialogues, everything that you're doing out in the marketplace, the only place to test those is out in the marketplace. So I get my agents out of the office and they're doing things that get them out in the public. And that's step one, building your opportunity bucket. Our CRM that we have at eXp allows us to put that bucket together really quickly. And like Ross was saying, then you do the follow-up. The magic happens when you have an appointment. But if you don't have an appointment, go out and be in the marketplace. So I scattered a little bit because I really wanted to show you this document. I don't know why I can't get it on here, but the Agent Quick Start Guide will walk you through everything a superstar agent does every single day in their business. But when you look at it, you say, I'm not there yet. I just need to be out doing these activities. These are going to lead to my first transaction. These are going to lead to my second transaction. These are going to lead to my third. And really what it is Dave Lawson and Bobby Martins and Ross, who's doing 175 million. Cameron, I know. How many of you are really in your escrows? Day to day, you have a team that does that. You're watching over them. You're watching over your team. You might be calling your clients, but how much time do you really spend in your transactions versus on your business? And for me, when I had a TC and when I had an escrow officer and I had a title company and all these people that I could rely on to help me, I learned that like a conductor, I didn't need to know how to play all the instruments. I just needed to know how to get everybody to work together to be very successful. And then I could have my clients rely on who they really needed to go to. They didn't need to come to me because all I was going to do was go to the escrow officer, go to the TC, go to the lender, go to the home inspector, go to the appraiser, whatever. So I tripled my income when I realized I just needed to leverage these people that are on my team and let the clients follow up with who was most appropriate to talk to and not call me. I trained all my clients and everybody to say, hey, listen, I work with a team, and for me to be real successful, for you, my seller, to be out on appointments, this is what I do. For you as a buyer's agent, here's what I do. I've set it up to be very successful for my clients to know where to go, for me to be very successful to help other people, to keep me out in the market. I just love being out in the marketplace. That's just me. If you're not out on Caravan, if you're not out meeting Bobby at his new listing, if you're not driving over to Palm Desert from San Diego to look at 5 or 6 houses and saying hi to Ross when you're out there, that's what I live for in this business. I believe that's my job, is to be in the marketplace, to be the connector, to be out finding these things. And this Agent Quick Start Guide proves exactly what it is that I should be doing all the time to be very successful. So I'll end it there. I'll try to get the link in here because it's not magic. It just breaks down what every single person on this call does every single day. And there's only 7 steps to be a superstar. That's it.
Great. Brian, that was great stuff. And if you can text me the link to that, I can post it in the chat there. But what he was just talking about, everyone, and really we're breaking it down, we're combining all of this information and kind of making a index of it, is he really did piggyback right off what Ross was saying there of creating that foundation. Brian, your foundation with your agents is definitely getting them out in that marketplace, getting them out previewing, getting them in front of people. It motivates them. And if that motivates you guys, do it. Get out there, get in your marketplace, because that is really the goal. That is what we do as team leaders, is we motivate you so that you can go out and build your business. Bobby, I seen you were laughing because I know you're doing a little bit differently. You're more involved, right? You're more involved transactionally. So tell us what you're doing with your agents, a little bit different, right? And give us some of that special sauce.
All right. Good morning, everybody. And always good stuff. Everybody has really dropped a lot of great information today. I want to try to really break things down in the very simple manner. I think as real estate agents, we can tend to overcomplicate things and make things, have 32 steps to them and all this stuff. It doesn't have to be that hard. So the first thing I would say, especially for the newer agents, keeping it simple, keeping it to the money-making activities. Focus on your process, what you're doing every day. Focus on your value proposition. Because if you don't have your value proposition 1000% dialed in, how can you articulate that to anybody that is that you're talking to? And I don't care what kind of lead it is. It could be a friend. It could be someone that you're door knocking. If you can't in 30 seconds tell people like, hey, this is why people hire me. And it's got to be on point every single time. The same thing. It should be, like almost robotic, just bam, and impressive. And so, so that's something I would say, work on your value propositions, make sure you have the tools in the tool chest to help your clients. So what I mean by that is, like, do you have a trade-in program? Do you have a cash offer program? Do you have a fix before sell program? Okay. The reason why so many people are selling off market is that they don't have the money to fix up their properties. And so you come along and you provide tremendous value because of your partnership with vendors who will get paid at closing for doing all the tasks that need to get a home ready. So your paint, your carpet, all the major stuff, you should have all of that dialed in and ready to go. So, and these are great referral partner opportunities that you should be thinking about too, because what you do every single day is really building, you're building a foundation. Every single day, you're just adding on to it, almost like the pyramids. And then eventually you get to stand at the top and you have the most amount of success that you can possibly have. So I would really, really focus on your value proposition. That's something that my team and I have been talking about it every single day. What is going to be something that just makes people, when they read it, they say, wow, I want to work with that team because of all of the things that they're going to do for me and the value that they're going to present. So that's really what I'm working on right now in a big way. I think it's extremely important to role play as much as possible. I mean, let's face it, guys. we get paid a decent amount of money, for transacting. And so if we have that opportunity to talk to somebody and then we don't do it in the way that we should, because maybe we're talking too much or we're not asking the right questions to lead them down the path. And we've all been there. We've had conversations and you can just tell people just aren't vibing what you're saying. And that's not really on them. That's more on you as the communicator. And everybody should be looking at themselves as professional communicators. So these are some really fundamental things that everybody should be working on. Here's another idea that Ed Millett, he is somebody that talks about this. And I heard this morning when I was listening to a podcast at like 5 a.m. And, these are all good things that everybody should be doing. Feed yourself with positive things. I really can't even have a bad day today. That's how I feel already. And it's 9:45. There's no way anybody's going to take me off my game because I listened to like 3 hours of positive information that really resonated with me on how I can be a better leader, better coach, and be a better overall human being. So what he's doing is he breaks his day up into 3 days. So he has 3 days within every one day. Okay. So think about this. He breaks it up into blocks. So 6 to 12 in the morning is one block. 12 to 6 is another block. And then 6 to midnight is another block. And then of course you have the fourth block, which is your sleeping block from 12 p.m. to 6. So about 6 hours of sleep is what he's doing. For some of you, that might not be enough. For some of you, you might be thrilled to get 6 hours of sleep. But so think about if you broke up your day into 3 different days or 3 different segments. Maybe you're doing all of your personal stuff from 6 a.m. to 12 a.m. You're paying your bills. You're going on your runs. You're doing everything that distracts you from your day-to-day operations. And guys, I see it all the time. People come into the office and they get working and it's like, wait a minute, you're doing your bills. You're not like working. And I'm guilty of it too. I do my bills sometimes at the office. So it is not something that I'm like looking down or judging, but it's something that if we all want to be super successful moving forward, we really got to take a hard look at what we're doing every single day. Next, don't chase shiny objects. Man, I can't tell you how many agents I've seen be derailed from shiny object to shiny object. I have been guilty of it myself. I've allowed myself sometimes to be pulled into these directions, with agents that I work with, that want to have all these different stuff. And the problem with that is when you get too many different things going all at once, you don't become an expert at any one of those lead gen models. And so it's really, really important. Focus on maybe 1 to 2 lead gen niches that you want to get involved in. Because if you aren't a master of something, then you're a master of nothing. So you got to make sure that you are constantly trying to get to be the master or the expert at whatever you're looking to do. So if you're wanting to hit the phones, if you're wanting to go after expired, whatever little niche you're looking to do, become the guy or the woman, the lady that just absolutely crushes it. Okay. So now next thing is focus on key performance indicators that are money-making activities, listing appointments, buyer planning sessions that you're signing, buyer broker agreements. You also want to track any of your new escrows, your closed escrows. All of these things are really, really important. And then I would also track your open houses. And for those of you who are not doing open houses, whether you're a team leader or a regular agent, I would advise everybody to rethink the open house experience and what these changes in our industry might do for open houses. So I'm even looking to do open houses again. I used to crush them back in the day. And so I think it's going to be an experience, that you can create that is going to be better and different in the future. And so the people who look to redefine what an open house looks like, I think will really succeed. Now, one of the things too is I see a lot of people, they come in and they make their calls from 9 to 12. And the thing I hear the most is, yeah, nobody's picking up. Okay, well, why do you think they're not picking up? Because they're working. So I think people need to kind of shift their scheduling a little bit, and this is where that 12 to 6, 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Block could really be a benefit. Because let's face it, like people come in to work for 8 hours, but they really only work for 4 hours. So what if you came in for 6 and you worked 5 solid hours when you're there for the 6 hours? So that's something that I would advise everybody to try to do. Saturday mornings is also another good time to make phone calls. So that's always something. I was always able to reach people on Saturday mornings. We talked about the lead sources. Let's talk about social media real quick. So when you're brand new, one of the things that I see is people don't talk about what they're doing. Make it, you got to create the whole story. Hey, I just got on with my first brokerage. I just got my license. Hey, I just got on with my first brokerage. Oh my God, I got this great mentor. I just went through this training program. I just went through this. I'm here at this open house. I'm here at this, all this stuff. People who care about you and love you are going to go on that journey with you. And if you deny them of that, they will deny you of referrals and their business. Why? Not because they didn't want to help you. It's because they don't even know that you're a real estate agent. You get lost in the crowd, and that's why you don't get the business. So the first few deals that you do as a brand new agent are typically people you know. So with social media, you have that opportunity to scream from the mountaintops and let the whole world know what you're doing. Be creative with it, be fun with it. But I don't advise being infantile with it, like the dancing and all this other bullshit. Let's keep it professional, give people value, give people information, and think about what they're thinking about, what problems they're dealing with, and what can you do to fix those problems. All right, and then the last thing is try not to buy leads. I see a lot of agents, including myself, like literally spending tens of thousands of dollars on leads per year. And, some of those leads are crap. Some of them are good, but if you're not doing the free stuff, then paying for leads and not doing the free stuff is a recipe for disaster. And you'll see your way out of the business very quickly because the profits just won't be there. So you got to do the free stuff, the making the calls, your sphere of influence, open houses, all of those things have to be done first before you start spending money. Now, if you want to start spending money to leverage, that's obviously something you can do. But if you're not doing all the other stuff, it's just not going to work out. So that's it. That's all I got for you. I hope all of you guys crush it. And you got to bring your A game right now, guys. This is not the time to retract or do less work. It's the time to do more work, but more intentional work is what I think we need to do the most.
Woo, Bobby,
Wow.
bringing the fire. That was like a whole hour-long course in 10 minutes. That was good stuff. And, having the value proposition and knowing it and practicing it, role-playing it, having it so when you randomly meet someone that has potential interest, you can figure out what they need and have something tailored for them. That's how you're going to be able to get those clients when you're talking to them. Great stuff there. Karina, I wanted to jump to you. We got about 10 minutes left. Going through the social media thing, I know you're huge on social media, but I also want you to share with us your tips on getting that business going and then also getting it re-going for agents that maybe slow down.
Okay, awesome. And I actually have some bullet points, so it won't be very long. And then Cam, that way you'll have time too, because we want to hear from you too today. All right, so the first thing is,
oh, we just lost you. We lost.
Yeah, there we go.
You got it.
So hope is not a strategy. It's something that was beat down on us when I was selling software. You cannot hope that you're going to make your quota. You actually have to have a strategy. And when I found out what our topic was this week, it was the first thing that came to mind. So if you haven't read the book, read the book. It's really important. And you can look at it from any aspect of sales. So real estate's not any different than selling a car or selling pencils or whatever, right? You'd have to have that strategy. So I'm not going to beat down what everybody else brought all those great nuggets. So I'm going to jump into get out of your office, get out of your home. You are not going to be productive sitting at home all day, every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I'm officially evicting you. Get out and go meet people. So one of the things that I harped on forever, and Tracy put it in the chat, which is so funny because people have always asked me, how was I so successful all those years in real estate? And I said, because I treat it like a business. It's not a hobby. I'm not selling Mary Kay or Tupperware on the side. I'm selling commercial properties and residential luxury homes or regular residential, whatever it is. You have to show up. If you're mentally not shown up, you might as well just go take the day and go to the beach, because you're not going to be any good to yourself. And then you're going to hate the business. And it wasn't the business fault. It was your fault for not having your mindset correct. So treat it like a business. And if you're in a business, and we all did some days, but we'll exclude David, but if we all did certain things that we do some days, we would be fired from our job, right? We all have a moment where we go sideways. We're human, right? Like, you can have a day where you're a little off, or you're not feeling good, or your brain's in another location. So get your excuse out of the way and get back to work. Don't harp on it. Don't beat yourself up. Move on. So when you go out of the house, when I first started real estate in Florida, I didn't know anybody. I moved here sight unseen, 2 kids, a dog, 2 cats. I was still selling software to the Fortune 250. And all of a sudden I decided I want to keep my feet on the street, because they then had me versus Jersey, where I could get everywhere by train, plane, or automobile in a day up and down the East Coast. Now they wanted me to cover the bottom 10 states. I did not want to be in the air with little kids at home. So I made my career change into real estate. And I sold 6 houses in my first quarter without knowing anybody. Because when I moved here, I didn't socialize. It was great to go to Walmart without my makeup on. Nobody knew me and I could stay under the radar, not knowing I needed to know everybody, right? So I had to turn on my extroverted personality back on, and I'm a Gemini, so I can go either way. So the thing is that I would never leave my house or office without a Ziploc baggie with 100 cards, 100 business cards. And I would force myself to go make small talk in the dog food aisle at the grocery store. And Mitch and I are very similar. I mean, when we started talking, we found out we did like things like twins. So I would be in the grocery store. I'd go in for 1 banana. I didn't really need anything for the house. The house was stocked. I'd go in, get a banana, and get in line. And I would be talking, and I was dressed. I never, ever went out of my house, even on a Saturday morning at 5 or 6 a.m. for an errand, without looking like a realtor and my badge on me and ready to roll, even if I was just going back home to take the kids to a baseball game, because I was on stage, right? You leave the house, you got to be on stage. So I would talk to people and I'd say, oh my gosh, I go, I can't believe how long this line's taking. The girl's actually going pretty fast. And they're like, why, what's going on? I mean, now they want to know, why am I like anxious to get out of the grocery store? Oh, I'm in real estate and I am so slammed. And they're looking at their watch. They're like, 7 o'clock in the morning. And they're like, why? What's going on in real estate? The next thing I know, I'm sitting at their house a couple days later, or their friend's house, or somebody else's on a listing appointment. And I did that everywhere I went. If I was slow at the office and I couldn't make another freaking phone call, I'd get up, I'd go find a Ross's, a Marshall's, somewhere where I knew there was. Home Depot, Lowe's are my favorite stores anyways, but over there, I know people are looking for plants and to dress up their house. Where are they dressing up their house? Why are you looking to buy a new toilet? There's all sorts of things. What toilet do you recommend, David? Because I'm about to remodel a house and I see that you're picking that one, and I was thinking about that one. And next thing you know, you're having a real conversation with someone about something they're doing. So you're showing interest in them. And the next thing you know, you're getting referrals. So I have always been very, very heavy referrals. The next thing I'm going to tell you, so don't leave your house without 100 cards. I wouldn't go home on a Saturday without passing all 100 out. If I really wanted up my business, it was 100 a day, and it's easy to do. And business cards are cheap. Make sure they look good and you have some kind of message on there so people want to keep it. But there is a great way. If you're slow, even in this market, you should be doing that. I still do it. So at least 100 a week, if not 100 a day, depends on how much you want to actually work and get more business. The next one is post every single day on all your socials. And I've been very slow to TikTok. Even Cam came to our county and showed us. And I think that one video I did in his class has the most views on TikTok. The other two are two of a cat that I had that's no longer with us. So, you know, but we all need to be posting and posting and posting and posting. And if you don't know what to post, like Tracy said, go to ChatGPT, and you should be coming up, and you can do the same one on all your socials, because not everyone's on all the socials. We have to be on all the socials because we don't know who we're going to miss, right? So you definitely, and make it a value. Don't just put like a shiny kitchen and be like, isn't this house nice? We could make your house look like this. Do value. So go out on the internet and search, what are the top 10 trending articles today for 11/24, and look at what they are, and then take those ideas, go to ChatGPT and ask it to write you one, and then get a picture. You can ask ChatGPT to give you a picture, or grab one of your houses that you've listed in the past, or ask, you don't have houses that you have listed in the past, talk to your team or talk to someone in your office. Somebody has pictures that can share with you. But not just those, you also need to do some videos. Do 10, 15-second videos and announce who you are and what area you're serving, and that you would love to give a complimentary, pre-listing walkthrough if you're considering listing your house anytime in Q3 and 4. Start going out to the end of the year, because people are thinking about setting their houses up, and you'll get people now as well for that. And put those reels out there on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, because people are watching the reels more than anything else. People move to social media because they didn't, and the videos because they don't want to read. If they wanted to read, the library would be full, the movie theaters would be empty, right? So give them the videos that they need and want, and you'll go viral, and you'll get people calling you.
That was it.
Back to you, Cam.
That's it. That's it. Let mic drop right there. It's done. That was great, Karina. And we're right at 1 o'clock. One thing I wanted to say, though, is you mentioned dressing properly for the job you have. If you're going to go out in public, and it can be Publix or the grocery store. We have Publix here in Florida. It can be a garage sale. It can be anything, you guys. But if you are dressed for the position, you are dressed on how you want people to perceive you, they're going to judge you based on how you dress, you guys, like it or not. So dress the part, be the professional, be knowledgeable, and you're going to have hands and toes above everybody else, just because you're coming off as that person. I'm going to drop one nugget. I know we're running past time. I know everyone's got to leave. I got 30 seconds here. If you're a brand new agent or you're an experienced agent and you're slow right now, open up your phone, go to your contacts list, and start texting every single person that you have a new newsletter that you want to sign them up for, and you need their email address. And you are going to talk to all your buyers, all your friends, all of your family, all of your sphere, and tell them you have a new real estate newsletter that you'd like to sign them up for. I guarantee if you guys do this, you will have something going by the end of the day. You're going to have someone that pops up that you haven't talked to in a while, or you're going to have a family member that goes, oh, I was just talking to someone about real estate and I didn't even think of you. You guys, you have to get your name out there. You can't be the secret agent. Just like Karina says, break out of your comfort zone, ask people for help, remind people that you're the realtor, and ask them for the referrals, and you're going to get business. So that's my big tip, is just go out there, talk to the people you already know. And if you got 400 contacts, you have 4 sales in those 400 contacts guaranteed. All right, you guys, let's have a great rest of the week.
One last note on that with the mindset. Even if I'm not meeting anybody that day and nobody's going to see me, I don't care if it's Saturday or Wednesday, Sunday, doesn't matter. I always get up in the morning after I work out, and I'm showered and dressed, and I am dressed up to go to an appointment. 2 reasons why. One, you cannot ask, especially as girls, for a client to wait for you for 2 hours, because I got to shower and do my hair and makeup. And the second is it's a mindset. When I sit at my desk and I'm at home, I am still in the mindset that I'm a realtor all day today. If I'm in my pajamas or my shorts or whatever and a t-shirt, do you think I'm thinking like a realtor all day long? No, my schedule's not going to stay on, and neither am I. So that's the best advice I can give.
Yep, that's it. That's it. I'm the same way. Literally, the biggest reason I wake up and work out first thing is because it makes me shower. And when I shower, then I get dressed professionally, go to work. And that starts off the whole day. That kickstarts everything. I love it, you guys. Great job. You guys are all excellent. Appreciate you being on here, guys. And remember, next week, same time, Thursday at noon. And bring your friends, everybody. Invite somebody. This is just value packed, and we do it for you guys. So invite your friends, invite agents that you know, and we're going to be here. Just keep on providing value. Have a great week, everyone. See you guys.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Cam, for a great meeting.
Thanks, Brian. Great job.